PHP's short array syntax has been around for quite a while now, since version 5.4, but we're going to take just a little look at what this is if you're not already familiar with it. So we're going to create a couple of examples here. Obviously, when you begin to create an array, you would usually use the array syntax, and you would still use this if you wanted to support previous versions of PHP. It doesn't mean now that you shouldn't use the shorthand syntax. It just means that it is available if you know that you can always use it, and you are always on version 5.4. So we would just declare an array like this, and then we would fill it up with lots of items. What we can do now, however, is use the shorthand syntax like this. And if you've ever written code in JavaScript, you probably recognize this array literal from JavaScript. So what we can do is just do exactly the same thing here, but with our shorthand syntax. And the reason that I like this is because previously when we used array and we pulled this down, it did look a little bit messy. It tends to just be a little bit annoying that this array keyword is here. So now that we can actually replace this and we can add items in here, it just makes it that little bit easier when we want to pull this down like this. It just looks a lot neater. Now I'm also going to briefly talk about array dereferencing. Let's just create a function here. This could be a method in a class, it could be anything. I'm just going to say return items, and here I'm just going to return a couple of items like so. Now what we would have to do previously is say items equals return items echo items 1, for example, or 0. So this would give us the following, like that. Now previous to version 5.4, we couldn't do something like this, and this makes things really easy because you can see just by doing that, we've gotten rid of a lot of code here. So we can just use array dereferencing to make things a lot shorter still. As well as using array literals, we can do this. So that gives us exactly the same result. So there's a little bit about the shorthand syntax from 5.4 if you didn't already know about it, and then following on just relating that to array dereferencing.